Joining us now is Sarah Kunst. She served as senior advisor at Bumble from February 2018 till July 2019, helping them launch their VC fund, is now a managing director at Clio Capital. Sarah, great to see you.
Thank you.
We all have heard the stories and the anecdotes about people during the pandemic. We heard it from Whitney herself about the popularity of these apps while people are cooped up at home. What is the growth trajectory outside of the pandemic once we get to that other proverbial side?
Yeah, that's a great question. Functionally, all adults end up in serious relationships at some point in their lives. 40% of relationships now start online. And those were pre-pandemic numbers. And certainly post-pandemic, there's a buildup of demand for this because, people have been inside a pandemic in relationships that don't work, and they might go and want a new one or been alone now for over a year, maybe 2 years by the time this is done. And the idea that there's not going to be demand to go out and meet people and have fun and go on dates and kiss somebody without having to see their COVID test results just seem really, really far-fetched. I think that the demand is only growing.
Outside, though, of the dating app itself, there's Bumble Biz, there's Bumble BFF, and I'm wondering, in terms of the growth areas, where do you see the most growth outside of the core dating app?
Yeah, absolutely. Bumble BFF is a fascinating product. You can actually turn off in the Bumble app the dating if you're, new to a city or going through a life change where you're looking for new friends, new people to share hobbies with. It's incredibly hard for adults to make new friends right outside of college and work. And with the workplace, being something that we might not go back to in a full-time basis really ever, then where do you go for companionship? And even outside of romantic relationships, Bumble is a company that's about connecting people for meaningful relationships in their lives. And so it makes perfect sense that these areas like Bumble Biz on the employment side, like Bumble BFF on the friendship side, will only continue to grow and make it an app where you don't just leave because you found somebody on the dating part. You stay and you can flesh out the other parts of your life too.
When I hear Bumble BFF and I hear Bumble Biz, I think about the competition from a LinkedIn, which is owned by Microsoft. I think about competition from a Facebook. I think about competition from just being able to go outside within your community and join various affinity groups, Sarah. So how do you think about the competition for those verticals, particularly if you're saying that those are the places where Bumble will see the growth in the future?
I think Bumble's going to see growth in their core, in their core dating products. Certainly, I think they'll continue to see that strong growth. The idea that the desire to connect with people is not going away romantically, but I do think that there is a lot of growth available in these other categories. And, LinkedIn serves a great purpose. It is a great sort of phone book of sorts of everyone you've ever met in a business sense. I think Facebook serves that purpose for sort of who everyone we've ever met in our social lives, but it's not really a place that facilitates meeting new people well. And I think that Bumble does that in a really meaningful one-to-one way. You can say, hey, this is what I'm looking for in a friend. I need a roommate. I need a running buddy. I just had a kid. I need somebody who also just had a kid. And you can get really granular in a way that these other products just don't and can't really offer.
So Melissa asked about competition in the BFF space or the professional sort of LinkedIn area, but even in the dating space, there are a lot of players here. What sets Bumble apart and makes it one of the 1, 2, or 3 winners?
Yeah, I think it's like Tesla, right? Tesla did not invent cars. Tesla did not invent electric cars. But what Tesla did was brought a new brand and a new message that was value aligned with customers. And that's been working incredibly, incredibly well for them. And I think that Bumble does something similar. Bumble tells women, hey, dating doesn't have to be giving up your autonomy or waiting around to decide who chooses you. You can make the first move. And I think in this moment, that's a message that women, resonates deeply with women. And when you look at, dating apps in sort of heteronormative cultures, if you can get women to show up, the men will show up, right? Ask any bar that's ever hosted a ladies' night.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.